And with that, it's time for Flippy.
Time for Flippy.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right. It's time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. Today's Flippy update is coming from Insider, businessinsider.com. Oopsie daisies. For those who get our newsletter, you will get these links in your email box before every show. Go join the newsletter if you would like to have instant access to all the most important news covered on the show. And there's a paywall suspiciously placed over this link here, so I don't know what's going on. I'm scrambling to go ahead and try to find a non-paywalled version. Do you have a non-paywalled version? I
thought so. Mine is not paywalling, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. This is annoying me. It's asking me to turn off my ad blocker.
Oh boy.
I don't want to turn off my ad blocker, but I guess I will because I'm currently trapped in a sort of hell space trying to do a live podcast with an ad blocker that is keeping me from doing my job. No! Oh, no.
All right.
Hold on.
Do you want me to at least get it rolling while you figure that out?
I guess. Do you have the text only version?
No, it's not a text only version. This is
you don't have a text only version.
No.
Okay, yeah, just get it started. I'll see what I can do here.
Okay. All right. Well, the headline here is Bernie Sanders says he agrees with Bill Gates that the government should tax the robots replacing workers. Yeah, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Climate change.
Any progress over there? We're still...
No, there's no progress.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. You've heard Senator Bernie Sanders say, and probably shout, that he wants to tax billionaires. He also wants to tax robots. Yeah. In his new book, The Vermont Independent writes that he supports establishing a robot tax to account for the impact of automation on workers. Basil, I'm dropping you the link to the other version without the paywall.
Okay, thank you very much.
I will do that right here, and I will keep reading. If workers are going to be replaced by robots, as will be the case in the many industries, we're going to need to adapt tax and regulatory policies to assure that the change does not simply become an excuse for race to the bottom profiteering by multinational corporations. He wrote in, quote, "It's okay to be angry with capitalism," to be released on February 21st. So it came out yesterday. What a fun title for a book. It's okay to be angry about capitalism. The general idea behind a robot tax levied on firms that replace humans with robots is to disincentivize the practice and to cover the loss of revenue from payroll taxes when robots are used, according to a report
There we go.
by Robert Siemens from Brookings.
Okay, I got past it and just in time because that is the most important part of the thing. First of all, Bernie Sanders, I'm going to go back just a bit here. If the workers are going to be replaced by robots, as will be the case in many industries, yes, thank you for paying attention, Bernie, we're going to need to adapt tax and regulatory policies to ensure that the change does not simply become an excuse for race to the bottom profiteering by multinational corporations. So it's really, he's talking about punishing corporations for using robots, which, you know, would be an easy thing for people to agree with. Punishing corporations is like a great American pastime, or at least something almost everybody can agree on in one way or another. If, especially even the most diehard corporatist or capitalist, rather, can agree that, if capitalism should serve humans and not serve robots. But of course, our entire existence will soon revolve around serving the robots and not the other way around. He wrote in, quote, "It's okay to be angry about capitalism," to be released on February 21st. Oh, that's out now. The general idea behind a robot tax levied on firms that replace humans with robots. So this is on the corporations that purchase and put the robots to work. Now, last episode, we talked about the paying the hourly wage for the robot instead of purchasing the robot. I wonder how the tax will apply there, but we'll see. It's to disincentivize the practice and to cover the loss of revenue from payroll taxes when robots are used, according to a report by Robert Siemens for Brookings. Now, this I thought was interesting. They're not even worried about people necessarily losing their jobs because of the well-being of the public. They're worried about losing taxes from payroll taxes. That's the biggest concern here. And I love this. This is the true corporatist sort of capitalist way of also saying the robots are going to kill us all, not because they're going to take our jobs. Yeah. It's because they don't pay taxes.
But it makes it official, though. Once you are a tax-paying entity, you become official in the eyes of the government. So.
Right. Well, I don't know if the robots themselves are paying the tax, but yes, we got to tax the robots. And the idea, I could see Bernie making the idea that, if you make robots more expensive than a human, then, less people will lose their jobs. However, it's this balance. It's the economics of balance, because if you make robots too expensive and no humans are replaced, we're going to be stuck in this slow moving human manufacturing world. You're holding back progress for progress's sake. Siemens argues that these taxes, quote, may be well intentioned, but are, quote, a misguided idea that would have negative consequences for firms, their workers, and ultimately the economy. That's because the idea that robots are taking jobs is, quote, not well founded, and it would lead to less economic growth, he wrote. And that right there, folks, he lost some points there. Not well founded that robots are taking jobs. If there's anything that my career has brought to the world, it is to well-found the idea that the robots are taking our jobs.
We've been documenting this progress for a decade at minimum.
What is this? Propaganda by Robert Siemens saying that it's not well-founded. But Sanders isn't alone in his thinking that robots should be taxed. His book, and now, see, I don't know, they're talking about some sort of robot payroll tax, because surely, sales tax and things like this would be involved in purchasing a robot. But that's not ongoing. We need big government to take all of the money, or else how are we going to keep funding Ukraine? The robots will be funding Ukraine. His book references policy ideas from other proponents, including Microsoft's Bill Gates, a billionaire who Sanders notes is not someone I regularly agree with. Gates has said that the tax could help finance jobs, requiring, quote, human empathy and understanding, such as elder care, having smaller class sizes, or helping children with special needs. Okay.
Yeah,
Sanders
use
also
that money for the kids, for the children.
Exactly.
Good idea.
That's always
good idea, Bill.
Raise taxes, spend it on the children. Yeah, like we're doing with payroll taxes right now, huh? Huh, Bill? Now, it's interesting because it was only about a month ago I put in the Red Book that there would be a robot tax to pay for Social Security for those who lost their jobs to robot, sort of robot unemployment benefits.
Sure, yeah.
I'm surprised that that's not even mentioned in here.
Yeah, well, they haven't gotten
need to listen
where
up.
you are in the timeline yet, so it'll happen
That's true.
eventually.
They didn't mention anything regarding these taxes, helping the actual workers who lost their job. And that's a mistake. Yeah. Sanders also points to other ideas from other sources as well that would require companies to pay a portion of payroll taxes into a retraining fund for displaced workers, or that would prevent automation from reducing tax revenue. All the way back to the tax revenue. That's the big thing. Now, this retraining fund is interesting because that's actually exactly what Amazon did. After they started working on putting robots in all their warehouses, they started retraining programs for all of their own employees that they were putting out of business. And that was a nice idea, except I think the numbers were like 1 in 800 or something of the people who lost their jobs to the robots were able to take the training and get a job as like a robot maintenance person or something. So, it's not solving any problems. And I think it's hilarious that Bernie is making suggestions about how to hurt billionaires from ideas from the billionaires themselves. He's reading the script of billionaires.
The problem with all these American independent socialist types,
I know. Well, we know
especially
that
as they get famous, it's kind of, he's got to sell books too. He's got to talk robots.
He's a big faker. We know he's a big faker. Everybody knows that. So anyways, there you go. It's an update on the robo-tax. They're coming for your jobs, and the government does not like what that means for tax collection.